I welcome you back. So, we were studying various types of uh, lines, plane scales, which are being used to represent a bigger, dimension into a smaller dimension, like kilometer into centimeter, meter into centimeters. Also, we went through. Also, we went through. You know. The formulas for representative fractions, why it is important. That is to represent a smaller to larger or larger to a smaller one in a drawing sheet. And also the length of scale, which is the maximum scale dimension that we want to draw in a drawing sheet so that it can be represented for a different dimension that we want to show. Also, the plane scale has a one feature that it is able to show the dimension up to single decimal point. And the plane scale is basically used to represent either two units. Like one example we saw, it was a kilometer and minutes shown in a single scale. So it can show two units or a single unit and its subdivisions. So a two units with its subdivisions and a single unit and its subdivisions can be shown in the plane scales. We went through different examples as a how to represent a scale of a bigger dimension in a smaller way, with representative fraction being the factor to represent that differences. So every time when we draw this type of plane scale, we divide our right hand side. Everything which is present on the right hand side of zero is the major divisions that we want, and what is present on the left hand side is the smaller subunits of that one. So this is the way of representing different types of features in case of single units and its subdivisions. And in this particular problem where we had to represent distance and the minute together, so this is a scale where we represent kilometers and minutes in one scale with representing proper representation with divisions placed in such a way that it serves the purpose both for showing the kilometers with its decimals as well as the divisions for the minutes also. So time and scale, the distance and time all shown in a one single scale. Now, diagonal scales are the scales in case we represent, if you want to represent something more. That is, the plane scale is used, it only gives two dimensions. For example, a unit and its subunits or its fraction, whatever it may be. But if you want to represent more of that one, we need to have a diagonal scale. So diagonal scale will give us three successive dimensions, that is the units and its subunits, and even if further the divisions of its subdivision of its subunit. So it's a kind of a increasing resolution of your measurement. Now, the principle of diagonal scale is as follows. Like first, what you have to do is you have to draw a line. As you can see on the right hand side, you have the XY line. This is the XY line, and from line Y we draw a perpendicular. So this is the perpendicular which is dropped here. First you draw this line, XY line, drop a perpendicular from the Y, that is YZ, and then we complete the triangle by joining XYZ. Once we have drawn this one, we have to divide the YZ into 10 equal divisions. So how we do it? So we first number it 1 to 10 and start the divisions by drawing parallel lines with respect to the previous line, that is the YZ line, the XY line. We draw parallel lines corresponding to each of the division. Now, once we have obtained this one, so from the geometry of a similar triangles, we know that the sides are proportional. So if I consider two triangles, one is X, Y, and Z, the bigger one, the XYZ triangle, bigger one, and this other triangle that is because this side has to be named, so it is 10. This is named by 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, up to 10 dash. So first triangle what we take is X, Y, and Z triangle, the whole thing. And the second triangle what we take is 7, 7 dash Z, or 7 dash 7 Z, the second triangle. So based on the concept of similar triangles, so what we can write is that 7Z, which is this one, 7Z by YZ which is this one, is equals to 7 dash 7, which is this one, by xy. So this is the relation that we can write from a similar triangle. And we should know that the divisions are equal, and we assume that each of the division is actually corresponding to 1 unit. So each of the division is corresponding to 1 unit. Now we have this relation that 7z by yz equals to 7 dash 7 by xy. So we have this one. Now we can write that 7z7 equals to 7z by yz into xy. So 7 because these are only one divisions. So 7z1s means this is 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 7. So 7 times. So 7z is nothing but 7 units, while yz is equals to 10 units into x1. So this becomes 0.7 x1. So 7 dash 7 is corresponding to 0.7 times of x1, which is this one. So similarly, what it can say that using the same proportion, we can say that 1 dash will be 0.1 times of xy, and 2 dash will be 0.2 times of xy. So in this way, when we move in this direction, will increase every time, will be increasing by 1 unit, and the fraction of units is by 1 by 10. So it clearly says that the size of the smaller triangles, the side of the smaller triangles, which are these ones, are parallel to the divided lines. Of course, these are parallel to divided, are progressively shorter in length by 0.1 times. So every time when I move from this to this distance, my zero point 0.1 times always get deducted in the same process until I reach at this point where it is 0. So 10.9, so sorry, 1, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, and 0.2. So like this way, my divisions go on decreasing. Using this concept, there is a problem where it says that the distance between Delhi and Agra is 200 kilometers. And in a railway map, it is represented by a 5 cm long line. In a map, it is represented, because map we cannot represent a 200-kilometer line. So we represent it by a small line that is 5 cm long. We have to find a representative fraction. We have to draw a diagonal scale to show the single kilometer. Now we have to show single kilometer, and maximum up to we have to show at 600 kilometer. And also we have to indicate on these distances to 222, 336, 495, 459, and 569. So using the concept of diagonal lines, what we will be doing is that first we have to find the representative fraction. The representative fraction says that it is the ratio of the diagram dimension to the dimension of the original product or original object that we want to make. So the distance between Delhi and Agra is the original distance, so actual distance. So it is 200 kilometers, the denominated part, and we have to represent the drawing in a 5 cm long line. So this is 5 by 5 cm. Convert this kilometers into centimeters, so it becomes 1 by 40,000, 40 lakhs. It is approach 40 lakhs. So we have to represent by this magnitude. Now, the length of scale, what we can find is that 1 by, this is the representative fraction, into the distance what we have to represent is 600 kilometers, again 600 kilometers into centimeters, which becomes 1 by 40 lakhs into 600 times into 10 to the power 5, being converted into centimeter, kilometer to centimeter, so it becomes 15 cm. Now we have got the length of scale as 15 cm, and the 15 cm scale will be used to represent 600 kilometer line. And in that 600-kilometer line, we will be representing triple two, double 336, 495, 459, and 569. So what we have to do is that first we draw a 15 cm line. We divide it into 6 equal parts, and when we divide it into 6 equal parts, it will represent 600 kilometers. Now, first the same thing what we do, we divide the left hand side into smaller divisions, each of 50. Now, to raise the scale, since we have divisions, now what we do is actually, up to this, we have got our scale and its smaller divisions on the left hand side and the bigger units division on the right hand side. Now, what we have to do is that we have to represent this triple two kilometers. It is not possible to be represented here, because this is showing 50, and these are divisions like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. triple two is not possible. So for that one, what we'll do, we'll draw parallel lines with respect to this one on from the left hand to right hand side and divide it into 10 equal parts, like we did in case of a for the diagonal scale. We divide into 10 equal parts. Then, because each of the division, when I do, because based on the concept of similar triangles, each of the divisions when I come back, so it reduces by 1 unit. So what I'll be doing is that this is a kilometer, this is kilometer, this is also a kilometer division, smaller kilometer division. Now I'll be inclining, drawing the inclined line from the bottom left hand to the top part. So that will be represented, that will be done for every smaller divisions that we have done on the left hand side. So once we have done now if I, if I raise a point here, okay, we can measure the distance. Now we can see if I have to represent 569, this is actually 569, what it is showing is from this end, you can see the line is very faint here. This is the line which it has picked. This is the line which it has picked. So, and this is the point. So 569 will be represented how? We have 500 kilometers from here, 0 to 500 kilometers, from this to this distance. Now what we'll do is that we'll move left hand side. So first is 10, 20, 30. We have already got 500. We are remaining 69 kilometers to cover. So 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now 60 we have got. Now we have got 60 up to traveling up to this point. Now what we up to this point actually, somewhat up to this point. Now the other 9 which is left. So we have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the remaining 9. So in this way we can go to represent a distance in a way where 560 and 3, the third division, which is the main purpose of representing this whole thing by a diagonal scale, is by, because we know that moving one step always reduces the dimension to one specific point, 0.1 unit or 1 unit. So in this way we can actually calculate the way how the dimensions or the distance can be represented with the help of a diagonal scale. If I go back, so we have already represented the 569 line. Now if I want to represent the other part, that is this one. So these are again two. Let me start the pointer. So we have again traced the point from here, although this is not in that line, but still somewhat coincident. And now this one. So how much will be the distance? First is this one, which is 400. Now again let us move to this point, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Oh, sorry, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then we have this again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you can see from here also 9. Same thing, you can see 50 from here and 9 from here, wherever it meets, 59. So here it becomes 459. The whole from this to this becomes 459 kilometers. Now if I see the third one, triple two. So triple two, always we have to start with, no, we have to see 336. So we have to start from 300 from here, then again 30, 1, 2, 3, 30, this is 30 line. And then again we have to move how much? 36. So this will be somewhat here. So this is the 36 point. So in this way we can measure 336. Now triple two, we have to start with 200 always. So this is what we have started with 200, and this is 20, and then 2 from here. So this becomes triple two. Would you understand how this was done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
in the
sir.
same way, okay. In the same way, what we do, there is another problem. Like there is a rectangular cloth of land measuring 1.28 hectare is represented by a map by a similar rectangle of 8 square centimeters. So a 1.28 hectare land is being represented by a similar rectangle of 8 square centimeter. We have to calculate the RF of the scale. Also, we have to calculate the draw the diagonal scale to read a single meter length. We have to we draw a single meter and show a distance of 438 meter on it. So using the same concept, what we do first we have to convert the hectare into centimeter form. So one hectare is 10,000 square meters, which we convert into centimeters by multiplying 10 to the power 4 into 10 to the power 4, that is square centimeters. This is 10 to the power 4 due to this one, and square meters we convert into 10 to the power 4 square centimeters. So the total will be so for 1.28 hectare is this much. So 8 square centimeter will be represented in this way. So 8 square centimeter has to be represented in 1.28 into 10 to the power 4 into 10 to the power 4 square centimeter length. So 1 square centimeter on the map will represent 1 by this much by the 8. So square root of this one, because now we have area, so square root of this one will be giving us the dimension, because always when we go for finding the representative fraction in anything, we do not go for the area, rather we go for the dimension, the single line dimension. So in this way, we square it out and find that 1 cm of map will represent, 1 cm on the map will represent around 4,000 cm on the scale. So what we do is that 1 cm, since EPA is 4,000 cm, so RF will be around 1 by 4,000. That is actual by, the diagrammatic by the actual what will be represented. So assuming that we will be having a scale of 15 cm, so it will represent the 600 mm line. First what we'll draw is, we'll draw a scale of 15 cm long, then divide it into 6 equal parts. Each part will represent 100 mm. Now, on the left hand side, I will be dividing left hand side of the 0. Always we divide left hand side of the 0 by 10 equal divisions to mark it as mm divisions, smaller divisions, subunit division. Raise the scale, again draws parallel lines from left to right. Divide that one, nomenclate that one with 0 to 10 divisions, and then raise the diagonals. So once the diagonal has been raised, now what we can do is that since we have to represent 438 meters, so this is 438 which is shown here. So 438 which is shown here, up to this one is 400. If I'm traveling from this side to this one, 400. Now we have 31, this is 10, 20, 30, and 8 from here. So this becomes 438. So this is the way how we represent the a bigger land area, the area thing into its dimension. First is our main objective is to convert the whole thing into a one simple scale unit, the scale with which I have to draw the diagram, that is cm scale that I have to draw in the represent the whole thing into a cm scale. Convert the area into cm scale. Once we have done that one, draw the scales according to the divisions, draw the scales, divide it, subdivide it, and then raise the diagonals on the left hand side of the 0, and then start to measure the distances. Now this is another example where we have given a diagonal scale. We have to draw a diagonal scale of RF 1.1 is to 2.5. So showing a centimeter and millimeter scale to measure up to 20 centimeters. So for that case, actually the same concept. We have been given the RF as 1.25. The length of scale is the RF into what is the maximum measurement you have to do, that is 20 cm. And then after that, we have to draw 8 cm long line, because this is the length of the scale. So we have to draw 8 cm long line, divide into 4 equal parts. So each will be representing 5 cm, that will cover the 20 cm part. Now divide the first one into 5 equal divisions. Each will be showing 1 mm, and raise the scale. Then once we have drawn this horizontal lines parallel to each other, we raise the diagonals. and then we measure the scale. So in this one, the 13.5, first we measure the 10 cm part on this end, and then move from this end. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 14.3 cm, 13.4 cm. So in this way, we can convert a area, we can represent a diagonal scale to show a specific distances. We can convert an area into specific lengths to be representing. So everything is possible if we have a diagonal scale, because it gives the divisions of subunit. That is the thing. So it takes a step further beyond the plane scale. It provides the division of a division. Now, the last part which comes is the scale of chords. What does the scale of chords represent? Scale of chords so scale of chords, uh, this is basically conversion of an angle to a particular scale dimension so that it can be replicated further for measuring different types of angles. In scale, first you make a angle, then convert into a particular scale, and then use that scale to measure angle. So this is a kind of a calibration thing which is going on. Now what we do is that we take a very simple step is that we take in let me take the pointer. Yeah, we take a distance OA. We'll make a line OA, okay, and take a line, arbitrary line distance OA, and draw using OA center and OA's radius. We draw a circle, a quadrant of a circle. Complete joining this end to this end. Okay. Now once this has been done, we divide this A part into equal number of angles. Like, because this is a 90 degree, this arc substance 90 degree. So we divide this one into 10, 9 equal divisions. So which will show as 0 degree, 10 degree, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So we have divided this whole section into 10, means 9 equal divisions, so that's to represent the 90 degree angles. So each of the units is, means each of the divisions shows a 10 degree advance. Now what we do is that we take this we take the compass from here, we take A as center, and this is the distance as the radius, and we draw a arc. Similarly, from this one, we draw an arc. Again from 30, again from 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Once we have drawn this one, we draw the parallel line, complete the scale where the 90 is meeting, and then raise the scale that this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. We have just converted the angles into a kind of a scale. So if I have to use this scale, I will be able to measure the angle between any two lines which is inclined. So this is the way. So as the chord lengths are used to, because the chord lengths what we are using here, these are the chord lengths, nothing but the chord length distance, are used to measure and construct the different angles. These are called the scale of chords. Okay. So using this concept, what we'll do is that we'll see one example. We have to construct a triangle and measure it angle by using scale of chords. How to do it? First, we have to take, this is our reference. We draw this one as a reference. Because this, from this one, we have to convert, we have to measure the angles. So once we have done this one, first we draw, because we have to construct a triangle and we have to measure its angles using the scale of chord. We take any arbitrary line and construct a triangle. Now taking OA as the distance from this to this as distance, as a chord scale mark on its lower triangle, we mark O. This is the XYZ three corner angles that we have to measure. We take O and then A. This is the same distance what we have here. We measure it from compass and draw an arc. we draw an arc. I think you can say it or not. This is the arc that we have drawn here. So once we have drawn that arc, what we do is that we label the other point where it meets as B. Then we see what is the length of this arc. We take a divider, divider from here to here, and place it here. What is the distance from? We start from A. So from that one, what we see is that if I place a scale from 0 O, which is from this end, because this angle is starting from this one, I'll measure 30. So 30 will be the 30 degree which is associated with X. Similarly, if I want to start with for Y actually, for Y, I will take again the OA compass and cut a arc here. You can see one arc has been cut from here, and then again what we do is that the point where the arc meets is B1. Draw a line. You can see a line has been drawn to measure the chord length. Take the distance with the help of divider, place it here to see the angle, or either you can move the scale to here to measure the angle. So if I move the scale, I find that from 0 to this one, it is around 55. So this angle is 55. And similarly, the third angle you can easily find by, because sum of angles will be 180. So 180 minus 55 plus 30 will give you 95 degrees. So the third angle will be around 95. So in this way, using a chord angle, the scale of chords, basically the angle chord lengths being used to measure the length, and that length is converted into a particular length, and that particular length, when it is used, it can be used to measure the angle between two objects. So angle converted into a linear dimension, then a linear dimension being used to measure the angles. So this is the basic principle of using scale of chords. Now, if I go to the another example, we have to construct 25 degree and 115 degree angle with the horizontal line by using scale of chords. The same principle. First, we have to arbitrarily draw a scale OA. This we have to generate this scale of chords. Once we have generated this one, what we have to do is to construct 25 degree at O. So we take a line OA, draw a hemicycle, we draw a arc, cut a arc like this way. Okay, and then from here we can take 25 degree and cut it from here. So I, you know, take a measurement. You can see here which is written. Take OA distance in the compass from the chord, mark it on the line, name OA, take O as center and OA as radius, draw an arc upward, take a chord length of 25 mm. Just you can measure the chord length, or you can just cut it with an compass. 25 degree arc length, whatever you have measured from here, from this point, cut it here. You can join that one. Once you have joined that one, wherever it point meets, you can draw that one to measure the angle as 25 degree. Similarly, see, you can measure this one as 25 degree. Similarly, if you want to construct a 115 degree, because in this scale we do not have 115 degree, we have maximum to 90 degree. So there is one small thing that we have to do. We have to extend the line from 0 to C. Beyond the on the right hand side of OA, we have to construct a hemisphere, almost a hemisphere, and we have to construct a quadrant of a circle, and then we know that. Sorry, I so what we have is that we have to subtract the whole total by 180. So 180 minus 115 is the 75 degree angle which is included. So for that 175, we can easily measure 75 here, which is from here to here. Put our compass here, cut the 75 here. Once we have done this one, you can see this is the point I get, and I can join this one to get the included angle as 75. The other part will be by default, it will be 115 degrees. So in this way, we can measure the angle and construct angles with the help of scale of chords. So could you understand the application of scale of chords?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so this one was related to all the plane scales and the dimensions. So So I guess you will be given some assignments that you have to complete within the next before the next class. That will be on 29th. So you have to submit your assignments before that. You may be getting some assignment in the classroom. So all the instructions how to submit your assignments in the classroom will be mentioned. Don't forget to write your if you do not have both your roll number, then you have to write your JE number and your name in the assignment sheet, and then you have to scan it and upload it. Scan it in a mobile. First you write your assignment, then scan the assignment in your mobile, compile them into one PDF file, and then upload it in the Google Classrooms. And don't forget to turn in the assignments in the classroom, otherwise it shows incomplete. So thank you. So we'll be now moving forward for the attendance.